Every day, we build the world around us.
But who's checking in on us?
Welcome to Built For Us.
It's a brand new podcast.
Built by construction workers for construction workers.
It's our own honest space.
There's no scripts, there's no suits. It's just
Real talk about mental health, stress,
And showing up for each other.
Welcome to Built For Us podcast, a podcast for construction workers by construction workers. My name's Steve Kirby from SK Coach UK. I'm a former construction worker, worked in construction for 20 years.
I'm James, JT Motive. Welcome to Built For Us podcast by construction workers for construction workers. This is episode 1. So I started JT Motive organisation to help people in lockdown. So coming up for 5 years, over 5 years ago. And it's just about helping people with mental health and addiction because it's absolutely rife out there. But Stevie, I want to talk today, I want to bring it up about, you know, when we grew up and we were going through school years and stuff. I don't know about you. I think you're similar to me. We got told a lot. We've got to sort of man up, don't show your feelings, stiff upper lip, big boys don't cry.
Yeah, all of that.
Tell me a little bit more about that for you growing up.
I think, as you know, and as other people will find out or they're going to hear if they don't already, I suffered massively with my mental health, like to the point I didn't want to be here no more. It was following a traumatic event, an accident at work. But I didn't realise I was struggling with PTSD, anxiety, depression. I was self-medicating. But I was brought up with the idea that men don't cry. Men get on with it. Men deal with it. And that was drummed into me from a young age. I remember even being at school and having problems and my mum saying, "Oh, just man up, get on with it." And if I ever hurt myself or anything, my dad would be like, "Oh, just get on with it, man up." And that was probably the same for like my dad's generation and my granddad's. And it's just an old way of thinking, but thinking that way and not talking about it because I was manning all nearly killed me. You know what I mean? And it does. So many guys are struggling because they believe they have to man up. They have to get on with it. They have to deal with it. It's their responsibility and all of that. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mine was obviously growing up. Again, I had an older brother, mum and dad, still together all the way through. My dad passed 5 years ago, and even though there was a lot of love and a lot of hugs and loving in the house, great house, no trauma, amazing. We were still taught, me and my brother, we were still taught from my dad, and like you said, he was taught from my granddad. You just got to get on with it, boys. Just man up, big boys don't cry. And it was stuff, and it was sort of stuff like further on into when I started my drinking. It was like, "Oh, listen, you'll be fine. Here, pint, get a pint down. Have a pint, you'll be fine.
Have another one.
Yeah, have another pint, you'll be fine." And it's sort of been governed to us. It's sort of been inbred in us. It's what we've been sort of taught. And I think that went into a lot of my going into my early teens and late teens and early 20s.
Yeah.
That's why I got in such of a rut because I couldn't ask for help. I've got to do this myself.
Yeah,
but I knew it had a problem. But I didn't really. No, I can do it. It was all like, I can do it. I just need to exert my willpower a little bit more and don't talk about your feelings. Just crack on with it, James. Just crack on, James.
I think a big part of it for me as well was working in construction and working in demolition. It's all male, like it was all male oriented, like male dominated then. You know, like there was hardly no women work, especially on site.
Yeah.
And it's a roughy, toughy, especially the demolition side of things. It's a roughy, toughy job. Do you know what I mean? It's a manly job, if you like. And there was a lot of banter and stuff like that. But looking back, I think even then, when I was struggling, I've struggled other times in my life, but not to the point where I've been depressed. You know, like I've had bad days like anyone. But even then, like breakups with exes like years ago. But again, everyone's like, "You all right?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm good," but wasn't. But I think it's because I was working in that environment. My upbringing was similar. Do you know what I mean? It was the same mindset. Deal with it, man up. But people say, I speak all over the place. I do talks all over, and people say, yeah, but mental health's a lot better now for the younger generation. But it's not. I get so many young guys, like between 16 to 20, coming up to me with that same mentality. You know what I mean? Oh, I've just got to man up and deal with it. It's like, no, you don't. Just have to man up, deal with it. Manning up, to me now, it shows so much strength to admit that you're not coping.
Huge.
Takes so much strength to admit that you're struggling, or you've got worries, or you've got this stress coming from work or relationship, whatever it is. When you're carrying that, to actually admit it to yourself, then to somebody else, that shows so much strength. And for me, that's manning up.
Massively.
So, like, when I'm doing my talks and stuff now, it's like, man up. I'm going to tell you to man up, but not in the sense that you're thinking. I want you to be open about your emotions. I want you to have the strength and the courage to talk, because I know how difficult that is. But by doing that, you will feel a huge weight lifted off your shoulders once you let it out and you speak to somebody. But if you carry on doing what you're doing day to day, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yep.
So every day it's just going to carry on the way it is, and you keep telling yourself you're going to deal with it, whether it's addiction, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If you're actually not doing anything about it, nothing changes if nothing changes. So the first step and the hardest step is just reaching out and speaking to somebody.
And that you spot on. That is the first step. The first, and when people, obviously, for the people that are listening, I do so much across all different platforms on social media. And when people when they first reach out and send me the first message saying, "JT, I need help," I always come back with, so sorry to hear what you're going through. Absolutely well done for reaching out. I always say that because they've done the hardest thing. They've reached out and gone, help me. That's the hardest thing. So it's incredible. It's incredible. People, go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I say thank you. That's it. As soon as, if it's face to face, or if someone reaches out and says, I need someone to talk to, I'm like, thank you. And they're like, what for? I'm like, for trusting in me to do that. I mean, and obviously now I'm a life coach, I'm a mindset coach, so it's what I do day to day. But again, you get people who eventually they'll reach out, and I never tell anybody what to do. Like, if I'm coaching you or anybody, any listeners, I'm not going to say, right, you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm going to sit and get them to question why it's been, what they're going through, what's happened. I am going to give tools and techniques, and I'll see different perspectives and deal with it. But I don't actually, they make all the choices themselves. I can't make anybody make the right choice. But then I'll get a message saying, thank you so much, you've saved my life. And it's like, no, I haven't. You have, because you reached out.
Yeah. Because you put the action in, because you've initially reached out and put the action in. You see, I say this a lot, and I used to think this for years. I'd think somebody's just going to come and save me.
Yeah.
Somebody's just going to come, and I think that's quite common. I think people think, I'm just going to come and get saved. I'm going to grow out of this drink problem I've got. I'll just grow out of it. I'll get bored of it, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. And it was only when I sort of at 25, I threw my hands up and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need help. And talking's good. Talking solves things. People don't get that. You bottle it up, like you were speaking before, like it's like a pressure cooker. And things happen and they just go, I'll just put it down there. And then another thing, I'll just put it down there. They put it deep inside themselves. Then they put a few beers on it, and then they put maybe a couple of lines on it, and it keeps going and going and going until all of a sudden they have this massive explosion, this massive breakdown because they've not spoken and let it out. And
Exactly.
people see it as weakness. I'm not telling you how I feel. I'm not telling you how I feel. Let me tell you, the strongest people I know will speak about how they're feeling, because it helps massive.
What even such as like man up, like before I went down my mental health journey, if I was watching a film or with anybody or someone Britain's Got Talent on telly and it's just a sad part of it, and or even if it was a really happy thing, like someone's done really well, I'd be sat there thinking I want to cry, but I wouldn't let myself. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, now if anything comes on, I will just let it out. I'll just sit and bawl me out. And my wife's like, are you all right? I'm like, it was so good. You know what I mean? But I've got no problem now showing my emotions in front of anyone. Like, for listeners and anyone who doesn't know, I do talk to all over the UK and elsewhere on safety and mental health. And I've just spent a couple of days in and around Reading, and I did 4 talks. And I think on all 4, I'm stood in front of a room full of people. And when I'm reliving, not so much the accident, because I'm all right with that. But when I talk about my mental health and the way I was with my kids and my family, and my mum, and pushing people away and believing that they'd be better off without me. When I talk about that part, I can't help but start tearing up, and my voice will break, and I got like on each one, you get through it, and then someone will come over and go, "God, wow, what a story! You're so strong." You know, like, to stand up there and it's like, I'm not strong. I'm no stronger than you or anybody else. But even doing that in itself, and even though I'm reliving it and I'm sharing it with all of you, once I finish, I feel better for doing it. Even though I've done it numerous times, I feel like I've just let it all out again. You know what I mean? And I think I've had quite a few guys come over to me over the last few days at the end, wiping the tears and saying, if I needed that. That's basically what people said, I needed that. Because it's encouraging them. I think if they can see a guy stood there, vulnerable, being emotional, it makes us realise that why am I destroying myself? Why I need to talk to somebody. If he can stand there and do it, I can do it.
100%. Going back to, I mean, obviously, I speak about back in the day when I was drinking and using and performing and stuff. But even in my recovery now, there's things that I've sort of had to sort of deal with. I've just come out of a relationship where, it's like, no, I just come out of a relationship where, well, 2.5 years ago, where say we were watching Britain's Got Talent, just like you've said then, and a thing would come on and I'd get emotional and this would harm me. So, and my ex-wife would see me, her words would be, "Oh God, are you blubbering again?" Look at, but not in a banter way, a mad ass way.
I like demeaning kind of thing, like
like sort of a put down way, as if like, "Oh my dick, you're not a proper man." That's how I would feel. So I would either not do it or just like really hold it back.
Hold it in.
Whereas now I'm with Mrs. JT, and we both had it. We both let it out. I can say anything, and it's about surrounding yourself with, for me now, with the right people.
It is.
It's so important.
And that's, for me, a big one as well. I get a lot of guys from within construction coming to me because like yourself, recovery, you know, like the drinking too much, or the doing coke, which started on a weekend and now it's every other night of the week or every night of the week. It's like I can't stop. And it's like, why did you do it in the first place? Because for me, my mum's always said only sad people do drugs. And I used to say, but I've done drugs. I mean, I went through a phase with cocaine and all sorts in my 20s. And I want sad, but I had stuff going on at the time, and that's why you kind of hit the fuck it button. And it's like, once you've hit it, it's difficult to turn it off. Do you know what I mean? And
definitely. I would speak. I was going to say, I was speaking about this today about that, about I speak to a lot of people, and not everybody I speak to is a full blown alcoholic addict. Some have just got into a habit, and I think we might have spoke about this before about if you do something for 21 days, it goes into a habit, whether that's a positive habit or a negative habit.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, some people I speak to aren't like me. They have the 4 cans and they have the 0.5 on a Friday, and once it's gone, it's gone. That's not me. When I start, I can't stop. So I then say, listen, you need to like put some good positive stuff in place. So on a Friday, when you're thinking of doing that, you go for a walk, you change it up, you go for a walk with the missus and the dog, and all of a sudden, if you keep consistent with that, that will turn into a positive habit.
Yeah.
You see, again, going back to, it's not going to fall in our laps. We ourselves need to put the action in. We have to.
It's about the choices that we make, and then I've had a few clients say, like, I just can't help myself. There's a part of me that wants it. Like, one guy stopped for a few months, and then he messaged me saying he was feeling crap and feeling down. I was like, "You've used, haven't you?" And he was like, "Yeah, on Saturday." So I was like, "Right, don't worry about it." You know what I mean? And then a lot of people don't realize as well, like, dopamine is a happy hormone.
Yeah.
So we get, whether it's any kind of addiction, we'll get a dopamine fix. But it gets to the point where it's not the actual substance or the gambling or whatever it is that's giving us that fix. It's the build up to it. It's knowing you're going to get some. It's making that choice. You know what I mean? That's what gets exciting. That's what gets the dopamine going. The actual drug wears off within no time at all. And then
of course,
you feel absolutely crap. You know what I mean? Like I use coke quite a bit in my 20s. And I know people who say to me, I just use it for confidence because all my mates are on it, and I'm sat there and I'm a sweaty mess. And once I've had some of that, I'm all right. You know, like I used it because I was a big drinker. So I'd go out on a Saturday afternoon and drink all day. But getting to like 7 or 8 o'clock, once I knew I was falling about and I'm getting a bit pissed, I just have a line, and then that's it.
Exactly the same for me.
Over again. And that's what, yeah, and that's what it's happening a lot now. It's crazy at the minute, and within the construction industry, right across it. I mean, I speak to a lot of guys, like the guy I spoke to the other day, and he was like, "There's just a part of me that wants it." He said, "I think there'll be a part of me that always wants it," and I was like, "No, there isn't. There's not a part of you. You either want it or you don't. There's not a part of you. There is a version of you. There's a version of you that wants it. There's a version of you that's on it. And there's a version of you that's never used it in the first place. Yeah. Which version of you do you want to be?"
Yeah.
And he kind of stopped and thought about it, and he was like, the one that never used it in the first place. I said, so go back to that mindset. You know what I mean? You don't want it. You don't need drugs. You don't need the drink. It's like, I've never been into rehab or anything, but I was a massive drinker from being 14 years of age, starting in parks, and then when I could get out in town with fake IDs, and then weekends during the week. But 3.5 years ago, I made a choice to stop. Not because I didn't think I had a problem, but looking back, I did. Because every weekend, if boxing was on or football was on, I'd have a fridge full of cans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if the lad said after work she'll go for a couple of pints, I'd be like, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? I'll meet you. So it could be 3 or 4 nights a week. Then there'd be something on during the week, and I'm like, I'll just get a 4-pack. And it's like
very easily done, isn't it? It's very easily done. You see, just going back to just thought, and it's just come to me. Going back to, obviously, you've done construction for 20 years, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only did. So when I left school at 16, I was apprentice electrician on site. So that's what I did. So I passed my level 1. I forgot what it is. It NCQ? Is it
NVQ?
NVQ level 1. Went in level 2 when I was 18, but then left halfway through. But I was doing blocks, so I do like a week at college. I do like a block, like 4 weeks at college, 4 weeks on site, 4 weeks on college, and
Yeah.
So I was the apprentice on site, very small. I'm not much bigger now, and just I was bullied through school, and then I thought, nobody knows me at college. That's not going to happen, and it did. And then I got, obviously, with the whole with the whole college thing of getting bullied, it took into that. And then on site, I remember, and this is just coming to me, and it's a little bit naughty. I remember, right, I went on my very first site at Bridgewater Hall in Manchester when that was being built. This was this was 30 years ago. And I got with this gang of lads, and there was about 8 lads, and the foreman, we sat down, had a brew in the morning. I got my overalls on. My mum's packed me sandwiches. It's my first day. And he sat down and he went, "What's your name, lad?" And I went, "James." And he went, "Have you had sex with a bird?" 16, I went, "No." "Have you done anything else?" I'm like, "Yeah." He went, "Right, you'll do for me. Go get me a brew." And that was my introduction. And that's like a typical like man thing. It's like and it hopefully by doing what we're doing now with Built for Us and other stuff that we do, hopefully that stigma will start to break down. That I would hate my grandson, who's 15 months near, to be growing up in a world where he can't talk. He's not allowed to talk about his feelings. I would hate that.
Yeah. No,
I would hate that.
It's my lads are 18 and 24 now, and I mean, luckily because of the journey we've been on, because there was obviously with me on my mental health journey.
Yeah,
they will talk about their emotions. They will talk about how they feel.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So I think it's you said yourself, it's the people that you're around. If you're around positive people, you feel positive. If you're around negative people, you feel negative. If you're around people that are open and talk, you'll feel confident to be open and to talk. And for me, I think that's what we need to focus on construction sites, is making that environment in the mess room or on site or anywhere else, creating safe space where people are talking openly about how they feel. I had a real bad I had a bad night last night, or I'm struggling a little bit, but don't go into detail what you're struggling over if you don't want to, but admit to other people that you're struggling, and then you get everybody kind of having the confidence.
Hopefully, that's the idea, to get that will encourage others to. You see, now, obviously, for me, posters, mental health posters on a canteen wall with the QR code doesn't cut it for me. If these massive £1 billion, we deal with them weekly, monthly, daily for you busy bugger. Anyway, these people, they've got to understand that, and I've had experience with this, that when I worked for 2 major companies I worked for Halifax Bank of Scotland, and I worked for the Automobile Association, the AA, the breakdown company. How ironic.
Yeah.
And both times when I worked for them, I opened up about my issues, and I was honest, and I just said, "Listen, I've got a problem with alcohol." And this was before mental health. This is in 2005.
Yeah.
Both companies on separate occasions, because they were one after the other, both went, "What can we do to help?"
Yeah, it's good.
They helped me. This is before all the mental health stuff. They helped me. They let me leave work early. They let me have 2 or 3 hours off during the day to go to meetings or go to wherever I needed to go. Sometimes I wasn't feeling great, so they sent me home paid. Lo and behold, they looked after my well-being hugely. And on both companies, I got Employee of the Year.
Yeah, he looked after you because you put the effort in. You put the effort in because they looked after you.
Correct, but I didn't do it because of they're helping me, so I'll help them. It just come automatic.
Yeah,
these big companies don't understand. For me, these massive companies don't understand that if you look after your staff, your mental well-being of your staff, your productivity, your quality, everything's going to go tenfold.
Well, yeah, it's like absenteeism. How many companies are struggling with the staff because they've got so many off with mental health?
Correct.
If they was getting supported in the workplace and they want getting to that point where I can't go to work today, you know what I mean? It's too bad. Everyone's going to work together a lot better. But a lot of companies are doing amazing things. I speak at some
of course they are.
Really big companies. But again, there's a lot of companies that put all the posters up and offer like say support, blah 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 blah, but then struggle to actually give the support when somebody does come forward. And the NHS is on its knees, and there's waiting lists miles long, and people can't afford to go private. And there's many charities out there. I'm not going to name them all because they're all there anyhow. But
Yeah.
even some of them are struggling because of the amount of people that are calling every single day. But I think for me, it's about educating people a little bit more, and
Massively.
And then they won't need all that support. But even without it's for me, it's about emotional intelligence. It's understanding yourself. It's understanding how you're feeling. Not asking yourself why am I feeling like this. Once you know why you're feeling like this. Once you've asked the questions, and if you don't know it, you speak to somebody.
Correct.
And you get the answers. You get help. You can get the support off a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't need therapy. We don't need coaching.
No.
Sometimes we just need a really good listener, somebody with a bit of empathy, somebody who can say, tap on the back, you're all right, I've got your back. You know what I mean?
That brings me on to, which is, so when I get a lot of people asking me for help on social media and stuff, and sometimes I'll say, listen, I've not got all the answers, but I'm here to listen. People tell me I can be texting them or doing voice notes on, say, Instagram for days, like every two, 3 messages a day. That goes into the next day and the next day. And then at the end, they'll go, can I just say, I feel 100 times better. And I don't even know who you are. I don't know yet. I've told you my life story and I feel great. This is why, if you're listening out there to the Built For Us podcast, now, if you're listening and you've never seen us before, never listened to before, click on all the episodes, fill yourself full of knowledge. And if you've got an issue, me and Steve cannot emphasize enough. Go speak to people. Go speak to somebody. It helps massive.
It's like I always say, my phone's always on. Even if I'm away, my phone is always switched on.
Always.
And because part of when I do my talks, I offer everyone, there could be 700 people in a room, but I'll put my details up and I'm like, look, anybody in this room struggling with a mental health or want educated a little bit, or want to understand something a little bit more, reach out to me and I will give you my time. I don't charge for that as a coach. That's part of me being there. But I do, like I've just said about, we don't all need coaching, we don't all need therapy. Sometimes we just need to let it out and talk to somebody. Then some people will come to me for coaching and I'll be like, right, so what's going on? What's the story? And they'll tell me and I'm like, well, I'm not going to take your money. You don't need coaching. And then I'll say, all you need is whatever it is. And in that one conversation, that's it. They'll ring me 2 weeks later and say, I can't believe it. I made that one change and I feel completely different. And it's about understanding that if you don't know something about the man, my therapist said to me, like, I won't be sat where I am if I didn't go for therapy. I won't be here. And it wasn't my choice to go for therapy. I got forced to go to therapy in the end. But going was the best thing I ever did. Because even after 4 months of therapy, I wasn't in a great place. I understood things a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'd done some CBT therapy and all sorts of other stuff, but I still wasn't in the best place. But my therapist said to me, when you leave here today, I can't see you no more, because it was through the NHS and it was like you get your quota. She said, what I want you to do is go away and go and learn about the mind. And I said, what do you mean? She'd go and learn about mindfulness. And I started laughing at her. And I was like, that's all like gratitude and meditation and all. Nah. So that's not me. I'm not doing that. But she planted a seed. And I went home and I started reading. I started learning about meditation. First thing I started reading about was spirituality. Something I would have laughed at before then.
Yeah.
I've never believed in ghosts or anything like that. But I started believing I had a guardian angel that day and somebody was with me. And once I studied that a little bit more, I came across, I got into mindfulness. I started, because I was so negative every morning when I woke up. And if anybody listening is feeling in that way, that you're a little bit depressed, when you wake up, it's like, what's the point? The world's against me. Just writing down, for me, it was 7 things that I was grateful for and why. And it didn't have to be, people say, when you're in that mindset, it's like, I ain't got no. And it's like, of course you have. You don't have to be family, don't have to be kids, don't have to be house. Even if you're living on the streets, there's stuff, you're still alive, you're still here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stuff, for me, it was, even the toothpaste I had to brush my teeth, I was grateful for it. You know what I mean? I can brush my teeth, my mouth's nice and fresh. But just because by thinking of 7 things that I was grateful for and why, that started me being positive throughout the day as well, not just in the morning when I did that.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing the negative in everything, I started seeing positive in everything, and my mindset changed. And then meditating. I used to sit for 10 minutes thinking, what am I doing? Just breathing in. And then I thought, this doesn't do no. But then the more I did it, like anything we do, and the more I got in tune with it and in tune with myself, I just switch off completely for 10 minutes. And by doing that, that's as good as 8 hours sleep, apparently. You know, like if you can just rest your mind and bring the cortisol levels down for 10 minutes. But by doing those things, my mindset completely changed. And that's why I studied coaching. That's why I studied hypnotherapy and trained as a hypnotherapist. And it's why I'm sat here now, because I reached out in the end. I went for therapy. As hard as that was for me to admit that I needed that.
Yeah.
If I hadn't reached out, I won't be here. And there's many people listening or watching now that are struggling, that are in a relationship that doesn't feel like it's working. They're in a job that they're not liking. They're struggling financially. There's a lot of people are struggling, but all you've got to do is admit to yourself you're not coping, and then reach out and speak to somebody.
Just going off the back of what you said about the meditation, which is something I love doing. And obviously everyone does meditation differently. It's personal to us.
Yeah.
But what I've found that helps me, and has helped me for years, is as soon as I wake up in the morning, my phone doesn't get touched for at least 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I wake up, I get on my medication, so I put my breathing mask on, and I get on my medication. My missus brings me a couple of coffees up. I'm still in bed, and I'm on my medication, got my coffees, and to be fair, I've just started to read a little book, couple of pages, and then I will just quieten my mind and just ask to be of use today. How can I be of use today? Ground myself. Yeah. Because if I get up first thing, and the first thing a lot of people do is grab the phone and they go straight on Facebook, straight on social media, bang, negativity for me straight away. It can be.
Yeah.
And it's like bam, 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 and it can just set you up wrongly for the day. You see, people think it's that, oh, I've got up at the wrong side of the bed. No, you have a choice how you want to live, but you have to put certain things in place to get you in the right mindset. You've just said the same thing.
Yeah, and that's what I said about emotional intelligence. Like, nobody puts you in a mood. You can't blame anybody else for your reaction. It's you that chooses to react in whatever way you're reacting. Correct. So if someone said something and then you react in a negative way, that's not them. No matter what they've said, you've done that yourself.
Yeah, of course you have.
So basically, it's what learning to control your own emotions. And for me, that's meditation massively helped with that, because, like you said, it grounded me. It was, for me, I'd be sit, close my eyes, and I'd breathe in through my nose for like literally 5 seconds, like nice slow breaths.
Yeah.
I'd hold it for a little bit and then I'd breathe out again. And my brain doesn't stop. I've constantly got that voice coming at my head. And
yeah, I agree.
But I learned to, like, basically, I think through studying NLP and learning what I studied, I learned.
People listening, what's NLP?
Neuro-linguistic programming. So it's like literally reprogramming your brain.
Okay. Sorry, got it. Just so people would understand what that meant.
Yeah, but what I learned to do is literally use my imagination to either quieten down that thought, or push them images away. Then I white them out and push them away.
Yeah.
And it's got to a point now where I could be sat in the middle of Wembley Stadium while there's a gig on. And if I'm feeling a bit anxious or start getting a bit worked up, I close my eyes and breathe in that way. Automatically, my mind clears because it's what I've done over and over
Because
again.
you've practiced it.
Yeah, I've trained my mind. So
Yeah.
literally, as soon as I close my eyes and breathe in through my nose, nice and slow, breathe out, everything just calms down. Because that's what I've studied. I've meditated that way for the last 12 years. So it's about learning these little tools and techniques. People give it a go though. People say to me, oh, I've tried meditating, don't work. It's like nothing works the first time you do it. You know what I mean? You're
Not all second or third. You've got to be
Yeah.
consistent with it. Just like let's do something we both love, but obviously you look bigger than me. Just like the gym.
Yeah.
People go to the gym and they go for a week and they go, I've not lost any weight or I've not put on any muscle, and it's like, come on. It's everything we do in life is about consistency and discipline. Everything. So once you've opened up to somebody and somebody opened up to you and you gave them the tools to, you realize what they suffered with, and then you gave them the tools to help. If they then consistently did that, they're putting the action in. It's down to them.
Yeah. It's their choice.
They're getting better.
Yeah.
But don't say, oh, I tried it a couple of times, it didn't work. Don't then blame the technique for you not even trying.
Yeah.
People do that a lot.
People, whether it's the gym, whether it's meditation, whether it's going out for a walk, people make them small goals, but then they don't do it and they blame motivation. They say, I've had a busy day, I've got no motivation. Nobody's got any motivation. The only time you get motivation is through discipline. The more disciplined you are and the more you do something, you start seeing results. That then motivates you.
Correct.
To do more.
Absolutely.
You don't just have motivation. It's not just a thing that, right, I'm motivated. You've got to discipline yourself. Even if, like, going to the gym, I've had bad nights or where I've been traveling or whatever and I've had 3 hours sleep, but I've still got up and gone to the gym. I've just gone lighter. I've just not put the same amount of effort in.
You've just done something. See,
it's consistency, isn't it?
That's all it is. See, I heard something great the other week, and it's like, even and I say it on my social media. I say, even crawling is still moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Just even if you go in, it's been a rubbish day today. Because I was speaking about this today. I'll do 100 things, and one will be a bad one. One would have gone really bad, and I'll focus on that bad thing for that day. Our minds are.
I can stop you there a second, though. Right, so something will happen.
Yeah.
And you'll focus on that, and it brings your energy down. You're in a bad mood. You're in a negative sense.
Yeah.
Your Miss JT, comes in. Automatically, as soon as she walks in that room, that she can feel that energy.
Yeah.
And then her energy is then low. And she might say to me, I know you probably don't, but then you might snap, but not just because that's the mindset you're in.
Yeah, of course. Oh, no, you're spot on. Yeah, it happens.
And then she'll turn to you and go, don't talk to me like that. And then before you know it, you're having a stupid argument over a stupid thing that happened to you a few hours ago. What's left you in this negative?
Yeah. Absolutely. Have you been listening to my conversations or what?
But for me, it is all about energy. And when we are feeling low, we're feeling down, we're feeling depressed, we've got the whole world on our shoulders. It is from getting up in the morning, as I said, with a gratitude. For me, and I use this a lot, and I said it on my talks yesterday, and I use it with clients. For me, when we wake up in the morning, if you imagine as a battery, and you've got an energy bar up the side of you, it's red at the bottom, green at the top. When I wake up in the morning, I know, even if I've had a good night's sleep, my energy bar is only going to be half.
Yeah.
Or halfway. It's always half when you wake up in the morning.
Yep.
Through getting up and practicing gratitude, even just 7 things and writing them down, it's positive. It starts bringing that positivity up, builds it up a little bit more. I go down, get a nice big glass of water, hydrate myself, brush my teeth, get a quick shower, whatever I do. Again, it's positive. It's building it back up again.
Yeah, of course it is.
Like you said, earlier on, I'll make my bed. I'll make sure everything's neat and tidy before I leave that room. So everything's organised. again, it's all positive. And then throughout the day, on the way to work, I'll see somebody and I'll, hey, how are you doing? Again, just a positive gesture, just to keep my positivity
Correct.
building up. The second I let that bar drop, it's my doing. Like if I didn't know you're driving in front of me, you cut me off. I decide then to get angry at you.
Yeah.
And I'm shouting out the window and bibbing me. All of a sudden, my energy bar drops, and then something happens at work, and again I take it as a negative. It drops again, and then I'm feeling in that negative space, and then the people around you start feeling that negative energy,
Cool.
and they're in that negative space. So it's all about learning how to control your energy. For me, that's how I deal with it.
Yes, same.
If you can keep your energy bar high, then the people around you are going to attract that same energy.
Yeah, of course. I totally agree, and this is why it's so important to hang around with the right people. I mean, obviously, going to what you were saying before about you said something before, Stevie, about obviously you'll get up in the morning and you'll do the list of the gratitude, the 7 things and stuff. And you'll see it. I mean, so my favourite saying, and I've said it since I very first started JT Motive, which is, it's on my mug, tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah, I use that as well quite a bit.
And it's not promised. It's for any of us. So we're getting up. I mean, I think like the first thing I do is I thank God for another day, because I've woke up.
Every day is a blessing. Yeah, every day is a
blessing. Thousands of people haven't woke up this morning. They had plans for today.
Oh, look at this.
They've got kids, they've got families, they've got jobs. They never woke up.
Look who passed away today.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
The mighty Hulk Hogan.
Passed at 71, and then Ozzy yesterday.
I couldn't believe it.
It just proves how precious life is. We take it for granted. Even us, we take it for granted so much.
We do every day, and being where I was, obviously being in an accident like I was at work, that could have killed me that day. And I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Then my mental health journey and not knowing how to look after my mental health, to the point I thought I was manning up. I was just getting on with it. I was just dealing with it. That almost killed me. And having been there and got my mindset into a good space and a good place and got my life in order, I say it to everyone, every day is a blessing. Tomorrow is not promised, like you just said on your mug.
Yeah, it's not.
And what I also add to that is yesterday's gone. Yesterday's fucked off.
Yeah.
If you're living in the past, and I know a lot of us have got a story, like we've all got a story. We've all gone through certain chapters. Some people have gone through some really bad stuff as kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what's impacting the mental health today and the way they are today and the mindset. But we can't change anything from the past. It's yesterday. So for me, it's and that's for me therapy. When I had therapy, I went back to my childhood. And my childhood, even though I had a loving childhood, like mum and dad separated when I was young.
Yeah.
But I still had them both in my life. But it was difficult, and there was difficult times, and I saw things that kids maybe shouldn't see. You know what I mean? But there's lots of that everywhere. But again, I used to kind of go back to that as well. That had triggered, and like certain scenarios, people shouting, it triggered back to my mum and dad arguing, and
yeah.
But then I've learned to realize that yesterday's gone. I'm not going to let it impact me today. I'm not going to let it affect me today. I'm going to focus on me now. And that was something I realized in therapy. When my therapist was taking me right back through all that, when I finished therapy and I started studying, I didn't intend to become a coach. But when I did choose to start setting up as a coach, my goal was to be nothing like a therapist. I mean, and I ain't got a degree in psychology or anything like that. And I don't use the old Freudian techniques and like on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? On a scale of 1 to 10, how suicidal? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much you drank? I don't use none of that encourage
Yeah.
it. It's not about any of that. It's not about going back through your childhood, through last week, it's about focusing on you today, in this moment, not worrying about tomorrow, because it's not yet. It's not promised.
Tomorrow is not promised.
Exactly. So it's about focusing on you today,
Yeah.
in this energy, being the best version of you, and that is all what matters.
Of course it is. And obviously, to sort of, if you've listened to me and Stevie to this bit, first of all, we thank you. Second of all, the message here is reach out, talk to us. We're both on social media. Inbox us through Built for Us. There'll be a click button on here. You can click, you can message and say, I really need to speak to Stephen Kirby. No problem. You'll get his credentials. This is what we are doing at Built for Us.
It is. It's giving, especially guys. There's a lot of women who watch as well, and women struggle as well. But
Yeah,
it's giving that platform where they can see guys like us who's gone through it. Who's, like, for me, as I said, worked in construction for 20 years.
Yeah.
Digger driver for 17 years. Site supervisor for around, 10 of them years. Worked all over the country. Stayed away from home 5 nights a week. And been to those dark places.
Yeah.
And managed to rebuild our lives to a place where mentally and physically, for me, like now, I can stay mentally and physically. I'm probably at the age of 41, 47 in a few weeks. The age of 47, I'm 47. Don't dare say I look older, just I've got my glasses on.
No, not at all.
but yeah, 47 in a few weeks. And for me, I'm probably the best place I've ever been.
Yeah.
In my life, physically and
Same.
mentally. And for anyone who's going through something now, or they've gone through something and struggling to deal with it, if by listening to us and seeing this, it encourages them to speak to somebody else, or even, like you say, contact one of us, I can guarantee they will get out of that place. They will get help to write that next chapter.
Yeah.
And potentially even being on a podcast like this and sharing their story. You know what I mean? It's
Mega. It's absolutely mega.
By sharing by sharing stories, it encourages more people to share theirs with that ripple effect.
It's the power of example.
Yeah. He was a good singer a few years ago. I remember him. I just remember
Example.
Example.
Yeah, he was. Oh my days. Yeah, he was. Stevie, honestly, always a pleasure, my brother.
It has been a pleasure.
So much. He's been mega, as always. And I thank you so much. And thanks for everyone for listening.
And for anyone who's watching, I am sat on the floor because my back's aching. That is the only reason I'm not sat on the sofa.
He's not. He's only 4 foot. He's only 4 foot. Not really. He's back's fine.
I overdid it at the gym a little bit earlier. As I said, I'm getting old.
He don't go gym. Look at him. He don't go gym. He's got a filter on. He's got one of them filters on that make him look hench.
It blows you up.
There you go. I'll set the filter off in a minute.
No, but no, for everyone listening, share with your friends. Built for Us podcast for construction workers, by construction workers. There's going to be a lot more content, a lot more chats, a lot more people, and again, a lot more topics.
An honest space built for us. An honest space built by and for construction workers. Built for us.
James, as always, you've been amazing.
You have mega. Thanks for viewing this episode. We really appreciate your support. Remember, follow us, subscribe, share with a mate, join us live. Built for Us. Let's build something stronger together.